Wow, my camera's not working. Well, that one is. Where's my camera? Where are you at, people? Hopefully you can hear me. Let me just select the other camera real quick. That's weird. Nope, that's not it. There we go. There we go. There's my face. Hopefully you can see that now. There we go. What's up, my Morphinominal Monday people? Welcome to today's Morphin Monday stream. I'm not going to spend a lot of time chit-chatting in this area. Let's go to the other area, and we'll do intros while we get started, because we have a lot. We have a lot to do today. We need to work on this monstrosity of a miniature. If you remember, this is where we left off 2 weeks ago. This is a mess, as you can tell. So we need to get cracking on it. As I said when we first intro, thank you for being here today on this Morphinominal Monday. I'm Daddy Louie. I am your host with the most. I don't know. I got nothing. Let me move this GM screen out of my way, because that is just not gonna work for me. It was covering up my paints. All right, so I will try and talk about the paints as I go. I'm going to be doing a lot of flip-flopping. We have a lot of area to cover, and there's a lot of things on this miniature that need to be painted. So I'm going to be flip-flopping a lot, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time going into each paint. If you have a question about a paint, please drop it in the chat. I will make sure that I go back and answer your questions. These are all pretty much the same paints that I usually use. So if something happens and I don't answer it, just made it just in time after the dentist. Welcome. So Althuan Gray is going to be our white. Retributor Armor is going to be our gold. Evil Sun Scarlet is going to be our red, for the most part, for most of the red bits. Ward Boss Green will be our green, most likely. Maybe I'll go with something a little brighter. No, that's probably good. Let's see. The fire on the candles we'll worry about later. Okay, that's pretty much the main colors that we're going to be worrying about right now. So let's go ahead and get these stirred up. I really want to get the whites white again, because as you can see, we have some, like on the shoulders there, and in some of the other spots. Some of the areas that are supposed to be white now have stuff on them from the wash that we put on there last time. We also need to paint the gloves, and obviously that Christmas tree. That's going to be one of the harder things to paint, one of the bigger things to paint. So right now I'm just going to get my white out, our Althuan Gray. Let me grab a small brush, and Althuan Gray is a really tough paint color to mix sometimes. Alright. If I get more, if I need more. And we're just going to dive right into it. Like I said, just because we have a lot to paint here. So, again, we are looking for things that are supposed to be white, but got painted over last time. I'm going to try my very, very best to be gentle and careful for all of these areas, because I don't want to get anything white that's not supposed to be white. And, of course, we will probably need to go over this with a couple of coats. So just bear with me while we do that. Like I said, if you have any painting questions, or specifically, well, not specifically, but any painting questions, to include questions about the paint that I'm using, please stop me. Normally, I try and go over the paint colors in as much detail as possible. We just don't have, if we want to finish this model today, which even if we do not finish it, I'll shelf it for now. We will start painting something else next week, and we can always come back to it later. But obviously the goal of every stream is to try and finish. But we want to do the best job we can, so. And right now I'm just re-whitening. You can see already how much better that looks, adding some white on there. So I'm looking at a reference picture, and anything that is supposed to be white, I am just going ahead and brightening up the white. And if we mess up, that's okay. Not ideal, but okay. Already that side looks great. It definitely will need another coat. It's very splotchy. But we're going to let it dry and go on to the other side here. So if you did not see the last stream, we did base colors of the red and gold, and then we covered the entire model with a flesh tone shade, and we let that dry. That's what gave us the discoloration on the white now. Because we were not careful. We just slopped it on. We were rushed for time, and we just got it on as quickly as we could for purposes of getting it done before the end of the stream. And now, because of that, we're having to go back and touch up. If you are more careful than I was, you may not need to do this step. Although I do want these to be nice and crisp whites, because they are on the character itself. So if you look at pictures, all of the whites are very, very bright, vibrant whites. And we may need to revisit the white later. This may not have been the best color to start with. We may have needed to do the red, for example. You kind of gotta just use your best guess, and my best guess was start with the white. For the bubbles on the beard, I guess they're not bubbles. I guess they're smoke. They look like bubbles. You just want to be really careful not to get any of this in the crevices and stuff. Let's see. What do we got in here? Let's look at the. How was everyone's Christmas holiday? It was great. Thank you. How was yours? Great Christmas. Dreaming of a white Hexmas. I'm definitely putting some white on there. One thing I haven't decided is what model we will paint next stream. Once Hexmas is done, if there's anything specific that you'd like to see, definitely let me know in the comments there. Got the Jada Power Rangers die-cast Metal Minis box set for Christmas. Nice. Do you know if Renegade will be sending you any of the Time Force models? I will definitely be asking. I hadn't had a chance to send them an email yet, but I will definitely request them for sure. The answer is probably yes. I don't foresee them not sending them to me. The real question will be, will I get them before other people do, or will I get them at the same time? Because sometimes I do get models significantly earlier than everybody else, and then other times I don't. Like with Heximas and Santa, I got them after most people did, rather than before. But the other models that I painted before that, from Rangers United and stuff, that was obviously, I had those for, God, I felt like forever. before everybody else. So that's really the main question is, will I get them early enough to give you guys sneak peeks and stuff? I hope so, but you never know, especially with production issues and stuff like that going on all over the world. It might be tough to get early copies. Had a hard time with the tree and the lights on top. Yeah, the tree doesn't look fun to paint at all. Hence why I've kind of left it for towards the end. The way you see me painting today is going to be very similar to how I paint when I'm not streaming. It'll kind of give you, you're going to kind of get an inside look at how I paint normally, day to day. The technique is the same, obviously. The difference is when I'm not streaming, I tend to bounce around a lot between paint colors. So I do not stick with one color until I'm done. I spend a lot of time washing my paintbrush and stuff. I just see something and I get hyper focused on it, paint it, and then jump to the other color. Today I've been quite productive. Finally got the booster shot out of the way, and then some careful gift card money juggling. Finally got my orders for Time Force, Minions, Santa, and the RPG. Nice. That's a really big haul. Green Samurai, Kaya, Darkonda. Kaya, looks like 2 votes for Kaya. I'll have to look and see. I don't even know what model that is. What color I want to do now? I think I'll go red. I love Evil Sun Scarlet. It's such a great color. I was thinking about Hyperforce Green. We had talked about it a couple streams ago. It's one of my favorite looking models. But I think I'd like to take a break from green and red, painting green and red for a stream or two. Since, you know, Santa and this guy are a lot of that color. If you do Hyperforce Green, I still need that one too. This is why you should have painted Neon Santa. You're right. Kaya's the one with the trident. If you do it, list the choice of light blue. So I can order it and do it with you. Okay? Stockings are looking pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, a couple people mentioned Kaya, so, and if it's blue, then I'm totally cool doing that next. As long as it keeps me away from red and green. Alright, nice red on those stockings there. So much red and so much just red, red everywhere. I'm going to paint these candles here. This candle is red and green. I'm going to paint the whole thing red first. The other one is red and white, which of course is going to be not fun at all. It's tough getting in these little crevices here. Let's see. The little candles on the menorah things are red too. I know what color you'll be dreaming of. What's that? Red? Red is actually a pretty easy color to paint. I don't mind painting red very much. Red and green, yeah. For sure. Alright, let's see. What else is red? Alright, this candle is red and white, so... Red and white stripes. It's a tough thing to paint there. When you're painting like I am with swapping between colors frequently, you have to be really careful with your white, because if you do not clean your brush well, like I'm only using one brush for all of this, I got to be careful that my brush is really clean before I dip back into the white, because in that case I went from red to white. It would have obviously made pink, which is not what I want, so. There's this weird face on this candle. See, I got a little bit of red on my paintbrush, and now it's making pink. So to let it dry before I can. I'm really disappointed with this. Yeah, so much so that I'm actually going to redo it. Last time when we did the wash, I got some of that brown wash in the smoke, and I really wanted it to be like that bluish gray color like it is up here. So I'm actually going to make sure I get white in all those, because it's just bothering me so much. And then I'll just redo it when it's dry. It'll look weird for now, but that's alright. Matter of fact, we probably keep doing white. Alright, time to get into some greens. And yes, I realize that I'm still missing some reds, but that's alright, we'll come back to them. This is very fluid, what we're working on here. But, just to give you guys something different to look at. So this is going to be War Boss green. It's not too bright, but it's bright enough. So I just realized that the shoulder pads, the bottom part of the shoulder pad here is green, and the top part is white, but I've been painting this. Gosh, this is actually supposed to be green. Awesome. Oh boy. I don't know if I like the screen, honestly. Let's see what other green choices I got here. Try a little Warpstone Glow. I feel dumb for doing that wrong. Yeah, this is a better green. Warpstone Glow is it's a great looking color. It's very difficult to paint with, at least for me. It tends to be pretty transparent of a color. Even on the palette, I can see how transparent it is. So getting nice coverage is tough. You usually have to do several coats to get good coverage, which is never ideal when you're painting on stream and strapped for time. So I always try and avoid it if I can. It's a great color for painting Green Rangers. If you're in the market for a Green Ranger color, highly recommend. Most people will recommend this color. Actually, the first Green Ranger that I painted, I did not use Warpstone Glow. When I painted the first Tommy Green Ranger that I painted, I did not use this color. I ended up going with a more of a muted green color, and I liked it. I still like it. And what's great about it is I can then paint Evil Green Ranger a different color or a different shade, and when they're next to each other, you can definitely see like a a difference, which is cool. Gives it some uniqueness. One of these times on one of these streams, I would love to just do a showcase and just show all of the miniatures that I've painted, talk about them, talk about what colors I've used, techniques and stuff like that. Not paint, just literally sit here, talk to you guys, have you guys ask questions. More like a Q&A than like a painting stream. I think that would be really really fun and very beneficial, I think, for the people that would watch that. Because I have a pretty large catalog now at this point of painted minis. And even the ones that I've painted for Renegade, like that's hours and hours, like of content for you guys to go back and watch. That's a lot of time. So, you know, for those that don't have time to do that, maybe just like a condensed Q&A to go over that stuff might be cool. Plus, you know, I spend most of my stream focused on painting. I don't necessarily have all the time in the world to talk. This would give me just a chance to just talk to you guys. Just mano y mano. Alright, let's see what else is green. A few of these holiday ornaments on the costume are green. Alright, I'm going to switch to my bigger brush, and I'm going to go in on this Christmas tree here with this green. So that can be drying. You know what? I like being different. I'm going to paint that. First off, let me do this. Get some German gray. This is a huge brush for that belt. I need to switch to a smaller brush. The reason that I even got German gray out is because there's like a black outline around this weird face on his shoulder, and it was bothering me that I hadn't painted it yet. And then I got distracted with the belt. Sorry if that's not in screen as I'm painting it. It's in a very awkward place. We will come back to the belt, I promise. Okay, that's better. Oh, that was driving me nuts. No, not a pink tree. And I forgot that I was even working on the tree. I got distracted by the face and now the belt. Thank you for reminding me. No, we're going to go back to the tree. I'm going to use contrast paint on the tree. As someone mentioned in the chat, it's not an easy part of the model to paint. It might have been had we painted it first, which is what we probably should have done. But we didn't, and now it's in a very bad spot. So contrast paint is going to help me to both paint and shade in the same step. Alright, well, at least the belt is done now. That can stop driving me crazy. I'm also going to use a contrast on the gloves. I think that's a good idea. So let's do the gloves first. I think I'm going to try this Dark Oath Flesh. It's like a reddish brown, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. I haven't used this paint in a while. I'm actually going to put some on my... Yeah, it's like a reddish brown color. It's going to be good for the gloves. And I'm being as gentle as I can because, again, I don't want this to splash on other stuff. They're not going to be as dark as they are in the photo, and I'm okay with that, honestly. I don't want them to be as dark, because personally I think it's kind of an eyesore, like your eyes immediately go to the gloves, because they're a drastically different color than everything else on the model. If you look at pictures of the character from the show. So this way, I still make them that brownish color, that brownish red color, without making them like totally a different color than the rest of the model. And now I don't have to, excuse me, now I don't have to put a wash on them, which I probably wouldn't have anyway. Right now, they kind of blend with the gold. But eventually we want to brighten that gold anyway, so that's okay. Okay, that looks good. And now we're going to use Contrast Orc Flesh. We're going to try that for the Christmas tree. I might do the wreath in the same color. Let's see how this looks first, and then... I love contrast paints so much. Definitely need to be super careful here. Because this will splash on some of the other things and ruin some of the jobs that we've done. But I also want to make sure that it really gets in all the spots. So I'm going to move the bottle out of the way so I don't have a spillage. The only downside here is that some of the spots it looks like the primer didn't catch. Specifically like the inside tree, part of the tree that's like facing the miniature. Totally my fault from not spraying properly. But the paint is just not wanting to stay in there, so I'm having to be very generous with the color, which is fine. Again, I just have to be careful that nothing splashes. Normally I would just slop this stuff on there, And I'm still being generous with how much I put, but I'm controlling my brush a lot more than normal. And I'm holding the model upside down because I'm trying to get underneath here. But also in case it runs, I want it to run that way. This is a great Christmas green, by the way. I was a little hesitant at first, but as it's going on there, there's like one spot I just can't get to with my brush. You ever painting something and you're like, man, I can't get my brush to get that spot? But then you look at the model and it's like, but I can sure see it. So it's like, you don't want to leave it that way because you don't want it to be visible. It's like, how can I see it, but I can't reach it? I'm just going to hold him upside down for a few more minutes here, trying to get that paint to settle in those spots that are not taking the color for some reason. You think we may get summer teases about the next big box stuff for the summer? Probably. Renegade definitely is one of those companies that does not keep things quiet if they don't have to. They love teasing us and letting us know what's coming up, which is great. Come on, you little sucker. Get in there. Alright. I think that's okay. Let's go to the wreath here. I'm just going to use regular paint for the wreath. Close that contrast paint for now. Go back to our green. This is Warpstone Glow again. Of course, there's some like pine cones on this wreath. It can't just be, you know, plain wreath. Got to get all the little details of the pine cones and stuff in there. So now I feel I need to paint the pine cones a different color that's not green. Thanks for all the details. Um, seems like the next big box for Heroes of the Grid. Probably also get a big announcement for the Omega Ranger pre-order. Bonus Pack 3 for the deck builder. RPG might get the pre-order for the minis. Pine Cones of Doom. So this is Apothecary White contrast paint. This is to go back over these bubbles. I don't know why I keep calling them bubbles. The smoke beard. This is a chimney, so the chimney is clearly smoking. Which has then provided us with his beard. So I had done this originally the first time we started painting him, but then I got some colors where I didn't want them, so I had to refresh that whole thing. Painted it white, and now we put that on there. When it dries, it should dry in the color that I want. The tree is filling in nicely, which is good. The gloves are not as dark as I want them. I'm probably going to do one more coat of that contrast. But now I need to let certain things dry, and while I do that, I'm going to get some more Ulthuan Gray and fix the shoulder pads and some of those other white details. Definitely too big of a brush. How long does the paint take to dry? I don't like saying it depends, but it kind of depends. Contrast paint takes about 15 minutes. A wash takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And, regular paint can take anywhere from seconds to a couple minutes. It doesn't necessarily depend so much on pigment as it does on brand and how much you water it down. Obviously, the more that you water it down, the longer it takes to dry. So, yeah, unfortunately, there's not really a standard answer. Usually, rule of thumb is do something else and come back to it. If you're like painting for a competition, some people will do like a layer and then literally let it set overnight. Like each layer, which is crazy that it, I mean, because that can take a significantly long time. Everything that we just painted like with contrast, I'll let sit for the longest amount of time, and these other pieces, you know, just a couple of minutes before I move on to. Mother trucker. Let's see. Use an army painter color. I haven't used army painter in a while. Use oak brown for those pine cones of doom. Ooh, that definitely did not shake up well. You can tell that I haven't used those in a while. What I love about this monster is that he's got 2 lit candles next to his very much cloth Santa hat. And he's probably just like, my own safety isn't important. That's true. Actually, he's got these menorahs right up here that have 3 candles each, plus these 2 giant candles as well. So he's really like throwing caution to the wind. So this is oak brown from Army Painter that I'm using on these little pine cones. Beautiful. So the contrast on the gloves looks dry, so I'm gonna hit that real quick with a with another coat of this contrast dark oath flesh. Because they're just a little too, especially the one holding the tree. So this will darken it up a little bit. You know what? I think I'm going to throw some of this on our turkey jetpack, too. Just one less thing we'll have to paint later. Because the cooked turkey is probably this same reddish-brown color. Now I'm going to get a tan color while that dries. Let's go with Xandri Dust. This is going to be for the mantle of the fireplace. And in case you have not noticed, this model is probably not going to get finished on this stream. It is crazy. Somebody just said it, actually. Amazing how much detail these models have. This particular model has so much detail, and so many little things here and there that need to be painted a different color and stuff like that. It's just going to be literally impossible to get it done. So this is Xandri Dust. Great tan color. Used for all kinds of different applications. I'm actually going to have to take him off his stand just for a moment to paint the top here. I apologize if any of that is not in camera there. I'm trying to gentle up here on the top. Probably should have used a smaller brush for this detail. Painting this a different color than the rest of the mantle, though, really does make the chimney, or painting the mantle a different color than the chimney really does make the chimney pop. Which is really what you're going for, considering that's like his face. Like that. Perfect. Okay. Let's see, what can we do next to move this along? Let's go back to red. Actually, let's go with the smaller brush. Figure out a better way of doing this. I don't really like this red and white striped candle over here. I don't know. It's not like popping the way that the red and green one is. Not really too sure what else to do with it to make it stand out. take it off the damn thing again. Alright, that was a long time not talking. I got in the zone realizing this entire time that I had not painted the ribbons around his arms. He has these red ribbons all around the outside of his arms. So that really adds a lot to the whole character, I think. Let's see. Let's catch up on the chat here. Hoping for RPM for the next box set. That'd be cool. So far behind on Power Rangers. Started watching. Yeah, I'm really far behind too. The best way that I found to watch anything like that that's been out for a while with lots of episodes, unless you really have time to watch all of it, is just go to Google and type in like the name of the show and then like essentials or something like that. And there's a lot of really good fan-made lists out there that really break down like what the best episodes are to watch and in what order, that gives you the, you know, the the story without the filler kind of thing. I've done that many times for a lot of different things, including Power Rangers, and it always seems to be, the best way to take everything in strides. Because I just don't have time to watch like every episode all the time. This is Lead Belcher. I'm just putting some silver on some of the ornaments that's on his coat. Because there's some gold ones and some green ones and some silver ones. So painting up the silver ones, and I'm going to do the grate on the fireplace too in this color. Maybe one of these, maybe this too. This jetpack. This is Troll Slayer Orange, this color that I'm using right now. If you're keeping track of the colors I'm using. If and when I have time to do these candles properly, this is just kind of the base color that I want. At the end of the stream, based on time, we might likely not get to these candles, but I just wanted to at least have some color on them going into it. I didn't want to leave them with nothing. Because we still have to do the tree and touch up the gold and stuff like that. The candy cane handle here, that's another thing we gotta... Do a lot of Troll Slayers wear orange? That's a good question. I never have met a Troll Slayer myself. But if I ever do, I will definitely be sure to ask them. I'm going to say my friend would like to know. If many a Troll Slayer wear orange. This is Retributor armor. My favorite gold. You know, all things considering, I'm kind of impressed with how much of this model we actually got done in one stream. Well, I guess 2 streams, but we got a lot of work in today. I obviously wish that we finished, but I'm pretty darn impressed. What else do you need to do? I think apart from the base and the ribbons on the tree, I'd be done. Yep. So ribbons on the tree, which I'm working on now. I'd love to do more to the candles, and maybe highlight the gold a little bit more. But you're right. For the most part, it is, you know. Oh, and the candy cane handle of the tree slash spear or whatever he uses this as. I'm assuming this is some kind of like lance or something that he's got as a weapon here. Definitely close. An extra 15-20 minutes probably. Not including the base. I just definitely want to do something with those candles. I don't want to leave them orange like that. I'd probably highlight the coat a little more. I'm going to get out a little bit of Emperor's Children. It's pink. For the candy cane umbrella handle thing. Get a little Fire Dragon Bright for our weird candles here. Don't forget the pink boot on the left foot. Yeah, I got you. Let's see. Uriel yellow. Flash gets yellow. I'm going to get these candles done. In case you can't tell, I'm definitely shooting for trying to get them candles done. I have minutes. I can do it. So yeah, Troll Slayer orange, Fire Dragon bright, Uriel yellow. Now we're on to Flash gets yellow. Not super happy with the ribbons on the tree. If I had more time, I would definitely work on them too. And I would darken I would either brighten the red on the coat, or I would darken the red on the chimney. You guys can't tell from the picture, but it is darker. We get some Dorn yellow. No. Yeah, this Dorn yellow. Oh, actually, I've already got some on my palette here. just a dot of white right in the middle. Perfect. All right, he's not perfect, but he'll do. That is Heximas. We'll call him semi-done. I will still put him on... I just dropped my other brush. Hold on. I'll get it in a minute. I'll still put him on the shelf as a quick grab in the event that we have time to... like I said, I could do some more shading here in the stockings. Definitely want to either brighten his suit or darken the chimney just a little bit. The candles actually turned out pretty darn good, considering how quick I did that. Maybe do some more white on the tree, just to give it some more whatever it needs, and then the base, obviously. Yeah, other than that, I mean, he turned out, considering the time, right? So you got to think we did a very large chunk of this model in just a matter of today, you know. A little bit too much white there in the middle, so I'm just putting a little more yellow. Pretty good. Pretty good, guys. So next week, no stream. The week after that, we're back because we are every other week. So that'll be the 17th of January. It looks like we're doing Kyla or one of those things that you guys mentioned. Blue thing with trident. I got to dig through my models and pull that one out. So we'll shoot for that one in 2 weeks. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can always feel free to reach out to me. I guess I can switch over to this one. Feel free to reach out to me anytime you want to. I'm on all of the socials. My main gaming one is Instagram at TheReal, REAL, Daddy Louie, LOUIE, one word. You can find me on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. Yeah, that's really it. I don't really think I have anything else. I got a busy week. I don't know. Hopefully you don't have as busy a week as I do. As busy of a week as I do. If you do, if you don't, make sure that you remember to take care of yourself, take care of others, and don't forget to play your games. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.